What's up, everyone? My name is Sbbz, and welcome to the Haul of the Month of June 2017. Now, I know I'm coming to you a little bit late with this. We're already a couple of days into July, but I've actually been working a lot lately, so I didn't have time to pick up the last shipment of games that was sent to me during the month of June. But last night I actually had time to pick it up, so let's get started right there. The shipment I mentioned was actually a stack of NES games that I bought as a package. Now, this stack of NES games, 6 actually, has some varying quality. I just take a look at this one with some like burnt in fucking letters in the back and marker on it. So let's just go through all of them in alphabetical order, starting with Fighting Golf, or well, Lee Trevino's Fighting Golf. And just like I said, they're varying quality, and this one actually has some like silver marker on it. So hopefully I will find some way to get this off. I mean, it's even on the label, so hopefully I will be able to get it off without destroying the label. Now, the name of the game is actually kind of misleading in this case. This is just a run-of-the-mill golf game, and featuring some pretty damn good music, if you ask me. Some really catchy tunes and some really happy tunes, and I actually really like the music. I have a couple of the songs I actually have downloaded to listen to while I'm editing and shit, so yeah, I'm actually a fan of the music in this one. And I've played a couple of golf games on the NES, and this one's actually pretty damn decent. So yeah, this is pretty good addition to my collection as soon as I get all this ugly marker off. Next up in the little pile, we got Hogans Alley, and this is a pretty decent light gun game. The card actually looks pretty damn good. I haven't noticed any weird marks or anything like that on it, so I'm pretty happy with this one. And this was actually a game that I played with my my dear friend when we were younger, taking turns shooting the different target practice areas and such. But the meat of the game wasn't actually the target practice, well, the shooting range or whatever you can call it. The meat of the game was actually like an outdoor area where you scanned through different areas to shoot enemies and such, trying to avoid the civilians. And it was actually pretty damn hard if you went at it with the regular sitting at a distance approach and not going up to the screen with your light gun, which I consider cheating. Anyways, next up in the pile we got Journey to Silius, and this is a game that I actually haven't played, and this is actually a surprise because this is a fantastic side-scrolling platformer. From what I've seen, the game looks like it's right up my alley, and it's featuring some really good music. I just wish there would be more remixes out of this music, because there's a lot of potential in it for a good remixes overall. Now, the card actually has seen its better days. There's some weird, I don't know if this is visible on the camera or not, but there's some weird like blobs on the cart right here, and I actually don't know what would do this to a cart, but it's a really good game, so I'm still pretty happy about it. I might look for a replacement cart for this one in the future, but for now I'll be playing this one. Next up in our pile of old NES games, we got Robo Warrior, and this is actually another game that I haven't tried, but I have some of the music on my computer, and I really like the music in this game. This is starting to sound like a common theme of this little pickup, and that is actually quite true, because the reason why I actually got this little package is because of a lot of the games in there. I actually like the songs on it, so yeah. The cart of Robo Warrior has seen its better days. It's pretty scratched up, got some marker on it, and it's like pretty damn faded up here. But still, it's a pretty cool looking game. The game looks like if Bomberman would to pick up a gun someday and just go at it. It's a top-down perspective, just like Bomberman, and you put bombs in strategic positions to blow up new routes and stuff, but still you have a gun and stuff so you can shoot with it. It looks pretty damn cool, and I can't wait to try it out. Silent Service. Now, a game that I actually rented as a kid and I didn't really like, because like all you saw was a bunch of numbers, text, and basically the periscope of the submarine you were controlling. And I never really grasped what the whole thing was about as a kid, but I don't know, maybe this is one of those games that actually makes sense as you grow in age. So I will most definitely give it a try. And with a good-looking card as this, it's a pretty damn good addition to my collection. And speaking of good additions to the collection, another one of the black box games, and this time it's Wrecking Crew. And this one is actually in pretty damn good condition. Except it's the one with this stuff on the back. So, I don't know, I'll probably be looking for like a replacement for the back or something like that. But other than that, Wrecking Crew is a kind of a cool game. It's one of those classic Nintendo arcade look-alike titles. And it's one that I actually haven't tried. So, I will most definitely be giving that one a try too, because, well, the black box games are all famous for being pretty decent, so yeah. So even if we're done with the little pile of NES games, we're actually not done with the NES as a console. I actually got my hands on a little bit more stuff for that console. For example, Blaster Master for the NES. And I actually got a box for it too, and the card is actually in a pretty decent shape. There's barely any scratches on it, and I'm very happy with that. Now the box has seen its better days, but I mean, it still looks pretty damn good, and I wasn't expecting to find one with a box in, I mean, an acceptable condition as this one. Now, Blaster Master's actually gotten a prequel on the Nintendo Switch, and I've tried the demo so far, and I really like what I tried. So I mean, it's a great time to get Blaster Master so I can actually play that one before trying out the new game. Well, even if it's a prequel, I do want to play the original first. Anyways, I got my hands on another box for an NES game, and that is the regular old black box edition of Super Mario. Well, the PAL edition of it anyways. And it's seen its better days, but I mean it's not in that bad condition, so I'm really happy about this one. I already have Super Mario 3 up there in a very good condition, so I do want to find Super Mario 2, so I have all three of them in a boxed form. Now, before we leave the NES area of things, I've actually got my hands on something that's been kind of a wet dream of mine ever since it was released. Vans and Nintendo had a collaboration where Vans was allowed to create a couple of different shoes with Nintendo theme, and one of these shoes was just it was looking so good, and I really wanted to get my hands on a pair of them, but everything was sold out instantly, and it was very hard to get your hands on these in Sweden. I found them on eBay, and the price was actually kind of decent. I had to pay a lot of shipping, but I mean, with a pair of shoes like this, and with a box, like, I mean, this box is freaking cool. So I'm really happy to finally say that I have these shoes in my fucking possession, and I mean, take a look at the print on these. Ah, this is a wet dream of mine. I just think these look fucking fantastic, and yeah. And I even like the whole little detail that it says Game Over on the bottom. Now, I don't know if I'm holding them correctly, but yeah. Now, usually I have a messenger bag that's shaped like a Nintendo controller, and my girlfriend's not really keen on me dressing in an all-out Nintendo theme. I'm actually gonna quote her right now, so if you keep this up, you'll be looking like a fucking Nintendo controller, and yeah, she's probably right. Now, ever since I started this channel, I don't think I've done a single haul of the month without there being a couple of Zelda items. So, just like my good old ugly Mario hat that I wear sometimes to put shame upon myself, I'll be wearing this little Zelda hat from now on. Every time I talk about Zelda, mention Zelda, or just go Zelda. So, the next couple of items, you might have guessed it, are related to Zelda. First off, I got the Amiibos that was recently released, the Twilight Princess one, the Majora's Mask one, and last but not least, the Skyward Sword version. So, I'd say with the power of editing, let's get these fuckers out of the box. Boom! There we go. All three are out of the box. So, before we take a look at them, I actually have to address something. Recently, Nintendo has really stepped up their game when it comes to the quality and, well, the look of the Amiibos overall. And these three are perfect examples of this. I mean, just take a look at the detail on Link on this one right here. You see every single detail. There's the belt, the mask, you even see the markings on the shield and the sword. I mean, I am really impressed by this. And moving on to the Twilight Princess one, we're moving in chronological order. The Twilight Princess one, just looking at the details of Link right here, it's pretty damn amazing. Going from the detailing on the shield right here to the belt, the quiver, and even the smallest thing up there, like even the hair, looks really good looking on this one. And the last one, the Skyward sword, the battle pose one, really good details on this one too. I mean, everything from the hair to the belt, even the markings on the shield, even the little chainmail sticking out from underneath his tunic right there. Everything looks fucking superb, and I'm really liking what Nintendo is doing with the Amiibos right now. Alright, so moving on from Zelda, this time we actually didn't have that many Zelda items, but as always, we got a little bit of Zelda in there. Still going with the figurines, I found Crash and the Skylander figurine, and I really like this one. I've actually had a hard time finding figurines from the Crash universe, and this Skylander is looking pretty damn cool. So I'm really happy to put him right where all my PlayStation games are. And while I was at it, I actually got my hands on Dr. Neo Cortex too. Unfortunately, he was decapitated. His previous homes included kids, and unfortunately, he was a casualty of war in the war between toys and kids. But, I mean, this, probably some hot glue or some epoxy glue will probably fix this one right up, and I'll put him right next to Crash over by my PlayStation games. And while we're on the subject of Crash, I actually picked up this little thing, the Crash Trilogy for PlayStation 4, and this game is fantastic. They actually took everything that was awesome about the original three games and they just amped them up. They didn't change any of the gameplay or anything like that, not in a like drastic way anyways. All they did was amp up the graphic to, well, basically Pixar level of graphics. It's super pretty and I can't wait to play more of it because what little I played right now is not enough. I've been wanting a good Crash game in my life for a long time, and this here insane trilogy, it's even if it's just a remake of the three first games, it's really hitting the spot. So, the last item of the day, and we're actually jumping a couple of generations with this one, all the way to the most recent generation with the Nintendo Switch. Now, I actually picked up a boxed copy for Has-Been Heroes for the Nintendo Switch, and I actually found this in like a bin at GameStop, which was pretty surprising. I think this is a really great portable addition to my Switch library because the duration of a game in this game is kind of the same as the duration of the bus ride to my work, so I think it's a perfect fit. Anyways, for all you guys out there looking for a good portable friendly game for the Switch, I'd say give Has-Been Heroes a try because I think this is a great addition to the Switch library. So, that was all of the items for the haul of the month of June 2017. I actually thought this was a great month. I got a couple of good games, a couple of nice additions to my my boxes up there, and I'm really happy with the month of June. So hopefully I'll see you all next month if I can get my hands on a couple of stuff. But I think Nintendo's actually gonna release a whole bunch of Amiibos, for example. So hopefully I will see you all in a month with another haul of the month. See you all there. Peace out.